Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Right now, before we begin part 2, I wanted to go over a few things because I bumped into a few of our subscribers and people that are watching, and they had mentioned to me that, you know, what does it take to be a good mechanic or a good technician? Well, you know, tools is one thing, and that's what I'd like to go over today before we begin. Because I know that a lot of people would go out and try to buy really nice, really good tools, which are from like Snap-on, Matco, Mac, and you know, other tool makers out there. So I want to go over a couple of things if you're a beginner mechanic, and I want to kind of give you the details so that you don't have to waste too much money when you begin. Because as you test out things and you're buying things at like, you know, $300-400 for a ratchet or a wrench or a socket set, I just think that that's just a lot of money to begin. I failed to realize that also. I thought that, you know, having the best tools will have you recognized. No, that's totally false. So another reason we're gonna go over another thing actually is this airbox. So in between these videos and these segments, I'm going to give you a little bit different. I'm going to give you a little tech tips and a little experience in tuning and other little things that come along that I've learned over the years that is inexpensive and will save you money, give you a little bit of kicks and giggles and, you know, just a little fun without actually having to tune it through a computer. So this is my way of giving thanks to you guys for watching and tuning in, and I'm going to give you a little bit of extra by doing this that you guys get to enjoy and not spend a lot of money. So we'll go over those things, and right now let's go to the tools. So the reason why I have these ones here today is because these are kind of newer. They're not the regular sockets that you've seen, the 12 points, 6 points, and, you know, the normal types. These are the spline types. So what's unique about these spline types is that they actually can work and adapt on almost anything you work on. So to me, these are inexpensive. This is a 10 millimeter, and you can see that a 10 millimeter here will adapt right into this spline. And the same thing here, this is not a 10 millimeter, but it's an E-torque, right? And it's the inverted type. So inverted type, usually you would have to use this type of sockets, the E ones. And you can see that they adapt perfect to that. But check this spline out. It has multiple points. Can also work the same. So this brand is SK. If you can find them, great, because this one served me well since 2007 and is still operating perfectly fine. And these are 1/4 inch for the ratchets. And the thing about this ratchet, they're also spline types. So you can also get these spline types on Amazon. This is where I got these. And I'm telling you that these are just perfect for a beginner mechanic because they also work on standard bolts. So you can work on American domestic, you can work on the Europeans, and you can work on you know, the imports. They all do just fine. They'll serve you very well. Okay, so those are the details I want to give you. And one second. See something else. Here is a ratchet that I picked up. It's a Cobalt from Lowe's, but cool thing is it has the flex head feature just like Snap-on and all those other guys. But as a beginner, I saw this thing on sale for $8. I mean, I was like, huh, that's great. You know, but they're chrome and all the way down to the tail end of it here, right, on the handle, that they're bad when you're working around electrical work, which you should always disconnect your batteries. But to make it cool and unique to yourself, you can buy the plastic dip, the actual dipping can, and dip that thing in there, let it hang to dry, and there you go. You would have something that is pretty much serve its purpose, and it will be great for you and won't shock you. So that's the cool thing about that. So we'll set that aside now. Tools aside, what I want to go over now is this airbox. So this is to the 3 Series over here, and what you're going to see here, sorry, what you see here is kind of like the little snorkel that actually adapts to the engine side. So if you own one of these cars, you will know that it actually has an extra little resonator box under this guy. So what I did is I cut them off, and I took one of these little body plugs that are under the body of your car. You can buy these at any auto parts store. So I actually glued this in here to make sure it forms a great seal. And guess what? Without that resonator, it speeds up the air going through this chamber. The faster the air reaches the engine, the faster the engine can calculate and give you the response you need. The air resonator here is just for not emissions, but it is a feature that kind of takes down noise and droning and things like that, slows it down for fuel efficiency. So those are the key features of that. It really does nothing because it's been like this. Cars pass smog multiple times, so you can't tell me that I own this thing since maybe 2009, and it's been like that. So there's no way anybody can tell me that doesn't work well. Okay, so that's my kind of tuning tip of the day, and it does not affect the computer's ability to calculate its fuel. We're gonna continue here, and right now I'm to the point where I'm removing all the radiator hoses, things like that. If you can see this one here, I wire tie them, I bend them up so that they don't leak all over the place. I hate messes to clean up, so that's the way I enjoy doing them. And so yep, I'm gonna continue moving on, and you guys just continue to watch. So we're continuing on. Radiator support's off. Everything's totally naked and exposed now. So now we can see the finer details that we couldn't see before. And all these little push lock systems, they can be a big pain in the butt once they're lodged against the radiator, the support, the fan shroud, and all the others. So this is where it was difficult, that this bolt right here, that T30, was getting jammed up here. That's why it gave me a little difficult time if you were watching the video. Then what I had to do was to kind of wiggle it in an angle once it's all the way through and out, and trying to get that socket driver through this guy right here. There's no way to release this guy because he was pinned against the shroud of the fan. So it became a difficult task with all that. So now that you can see it and exposed, it's easier to explain. So I like all my stuff tied up, nice, neat, no drips, no leaks. I do things in a way that is to be, I guess, just quick and simple and easy. At times we look at things and we think that doing things like this, it's time consuming, but honestly it's not. And now that we see all these tensioners and things like that, all those need to be replaced when you're doing belt jobs and things like that, because if these tensioners are replaced, it doesn't apply enough tension. That's why you get the alternator, the AC compressors, those things will start squealing on you just down the road. So a very good idea to do that. All these pulleys need to be replaced because they have a ball bearing, and when they wear out, that's where the squeal comes in. Once they angle themselves into a certain position and they start spinning, that's where you get the squeals. So we're going to try to isolate a couple of things also, since I have it exposed and it's easier to explain. And these were the 5 bolts for that power steering pump. So you got these 3 here and then 2 on the back side of this bracket. We're going to leave the bracket there. It's not necessary to remove. So harness has been bundled up. Fuel line right here is pushed back. What we're going to be moving on to is taking off the exhaust system now. We're going to release the engine mount bolts here. We'll take all the other extremities that are going to be blocking the drive shaft. We need that guy out. Transmission's already been drained. So we're moving along in a decent pace. I usually am even faster than this, but now quite slow, but it's okay. We'll pull it off. I'll pull it off, and you'll see all this thing go down. So, as you have been seeing. There's a couple other lines that are attached right now that I see that might need to be removed also. I did remove one single ground strap that sits on the back there, and attaches to the engine mount bracket. So that's going down, and we'll carry on with that. So that's the update. Okay, and to end the video this time around, I know people have asked, and I actually haven't displayed this. So here it is. This is the LT4 Supercharge, and he is a beast, just waiting to wake up. And we'll call it Sleeping Beauty. How about that? This is 650 horsepower on 650 torque. But honestly, we will be losing probably 20 to 30 horsepower because of the emissions equipment. Okay? But anyways, this is full of greatness from GM and tech tips from me. I want you guys all go out there, have fun, treat each other well, respect each other, and you know, do great things. Go out there and be awesome. See you guys next time.